Well, welcome. And I'm glad you could join us this evening. I'm Hugh Hefner, your host. I'm sure you know Dan Rowan, Dick Martin. We're going to have a fun time this evening. We're glad you're here. But I've got a little bone to pick with you fellas.
What?
Well,
I was getting hungry.
Not that kind of bone.
Oh.
Last season, you used Playboy quite a bit on the show, and I thought that was very nice. But this year, you've come out with a magazine.
Yeah.
The Laugh In magazine. Yeah. And I really feel, you're coming in competition with me.
Oh, no, not really.
No.
Ours is a funny,
maybe
nice,
Reader's
good
Digest
magazine.
or something.
Yeah.
Well, the first issue had a gatefold.
Yeah.
With Gladys as your bunny.
Well, Reader's Digest has a gatefold. I mean, you didn't...
That's
Not
our
like
sex symbol.
that gatefold.
That's our sex symbol.
That's Gladys is your sex symbol.
Yeah.
Well, that's a particular problem of your own. However, in this issue...
If you don't dig it, don't knock it, baby.
All right, now, in this issue, this is the second issue of Laugh In magazine.
And it's even funnier than the first.
Yeah, well, the cover certainly is. You've got an old passport picture of me here, and...
You're as hard to photograph as Howard Hughes, you know. There aren't any existing pictures of you around.
I think he looks good.
How come Gladys looks better than I do? I don't understand that.
You look adorable.
Well,
Looks good.
actually, I'm very delighted
I don't think
to...
he liked it.
I did like it, really. Seriously, I thought it was wonderful. As a matter of fact, it took 15 years for Playboy to get wherever it is. And in just 2 issues, you fellows with Laugh In magazine have done so much for publishing.
Yeah.
That knowing you were going to be here today, I wanted to present you with a special award.
He's going to give us an award.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, now be quiet. Let the man try and get through this next speech. Go ahead.
Yes, I wonder if I can get through this. This is the Bent Bunny.
The Bent Bunny.
The Bent Bunny. And this is because you fellas have been the most sublapsarinistic thieves of the year.
Well done, sir.
I
Yes,
think
now.
this deserves a big round of applause.
I want you to look that up in your funkin' wagon.
Just really don't know what to say, pal. It's so smart.
Well, you could say what my aunt once said after she'd been locked in a mattress factory with 14 crazed Bedouin horsemen and their horses. How do you like
I
that?
don't want to hear it, much less say it. Hey, Hef, you know, it's kind of funny that you gave us an award. I mean, you want to talk about a coincidence. I mean, if you got nothing else to do, we could talk about coincidence.
about it. Listen, as a
we
matter of
brought
fact-
you an award.
Yeah, but as a matter of fact, we haven't told him about our prop man, huh?
Didn't you mean our prop man?
Our
No.
prop man, Ralph?
Ralph.
Ralph, come on in with the Flying Fickle Finger of Fate Award.
This is your prop man, Ralph?
Ralph, yeah, Ralph.
You run the same kind of show, right? Oh,
There you go,
See?
sir. Now then, Hef, you are awarded this month's Flying Fickle Finger of Fate Award because out of your consummate greed, because of whatever peculiar reasons you have to support your ever-rising stable of lovelies, you have raised the price of that notoriously infamous magazine of yours from 75 cents to $1.
Thereby depriving hundreds of bachelors across the country of the certain necessities of life.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
So, you got it coming to you, pal.
I never expected.
Well.
I really never expected this honor, and now I'm going to have to figure out where to put it.
Well,
Listen, I could tell you where to put it.
No, he hasn't got any room on the trophy shelf. Yes, I think you probably have one of the most exciting poems I have seen for a long time.
I'll drink to that.
Very interesting. You'll drink to the yellow pages, that is it. Let me say, take a look at that. You know that you are, this evening, are going to meet a tall, unattached bachelor comic.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to lay some stuff on you.
I see it right here.
Yeah. And he's going to tell you lots of things that you're going to like to hear.
Yeah.
And they all going to be lies.
Who cares? Get it on.
Be lies. And his name is Farquhar. No.
That's
no,
not.
No, that's...
Would you look again?
That Elmer.
Not Elmer.
No.
Dummy.
D. There, I see a D there.
Yeah.
Dick.
Go.
Dick.
Yeah.
Whittington.
No.
Well, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Here. Dick. Martin. Dick Martin. You're going to meet a Dick Martin.
Dick Martin.
You're in a lot of trouble, little girl.
And you put the Chinese one up front, the colored one right there in the middle so it don't get hurt.
Boy, you really
That's right,
interested,
and the
wasn't
Indian right over there.
The Indian.
Yes, the Indian right over there. That's right. Now
That's
that's a
the red
well
one, eh?
integrated.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yes. You got it correct.
He ain't gonna help him any.
All right.
Hey, you really want to play with me, huh?
Yeah, go ahead, take a shot.
You put me on?
Go ahead, try your
I've
best.
studied with Willie Moscone,
I don't care, go ahead.
Willie Hoppy,
Sure.
and Willie Mays.
Oh, he's some kind of pool shooter.
But I blew the cue ball. There you go. Hey, baby! That's black power.
Hey, how come the cue ball's white, Stu?
Dick, I seem to recall that, weren't you originally a part of a group called the Real Martin and Lewis?
Yeah, that was kind of odd because when Martin and Lewis were at Slapsy Maxie's on Wilshire Boulevard, I teamed up with a guy named Artie Lewis, and we worked the Strand Theater in Long Beach for a split week. And it was disastrous, but we were, his name was really Artie Lewis and mine was Dick Martin, so Abby Greshler, who handled Martin and Lewis at the time, says, hey, you guys got to change your name. I said, no, let them change their names to Corsetti and Levitch.
That's the real name.
That's right, that's their real names.
You guys remember the, I'm sure you do, but where did you originally meet? The two
Over
of
there at the pool table.
Before
I made
that.
a bad shot.
Before that, we met out here in California.
Yeah.
Studio City.
Studio City. I was a bartender, and he was hustling used cars, as I recall. And a guy named...
Or whatever presented itself.
And I was wondering why you made more money than I did. And a guy named Tommy Noonan, Noonan and Marshall introduced us and helped us get together and started the act.
Why do you think you're able to do so much adult fare on Laugh In Now?
Because we had some very naughty pictures of the heads of the network.
I see.
That doesn't hurt anything.
I think the whole industry has kind of grown up, Hef. You and your publication had a big influence,
You
as everybody
pioneered
knows.
an awful lot.
And Lenny Bruce in our field had a great influence on breaking through some rather hypocritical barriers.
Buddy Hackett.
Left over from the Victorian
People like
days.
that.
And today, television actually is a follower. We're called an innovator in the field, but we're simply doing today on television what has been done not only in your magazine, but on legitimate theater stage, newspapers, and motion pictures for the past several years. Television's finally caught up. Yeah.
We have the same theory that you have, although I don't know. Yes, we do really. That
Just spit it right out there.
I've always been a
Sure, that's easy for
really
you to say.
good talker. Well, no, I was weighing what I was going to say. That
About a pound and a half.
talk about sex, for instance, is an awful lot more acceptable to us anyway than violence. I mean, you could see say a rerun of Combat and see maybe 50, 60 guys killed, mowed down, and everything, and people say, yeah, that's wild. But if you mention, hey, two people with, oh, you couldn't say that, you know. So we've always felt that that is not as offensive. Did I get to you at all?
Well, what kind?
You didn't know what those guys on Combat were fighting for.
To get on our show so they could go, whee!
What kind of things do you still have trouble with? What kind of things do the network?
Trying to keep a bra on Goldie is about the best.
What do we have trouble with? Actually, the biggest problem we have on a show such as ours, as you can imagine, from an editorial point of view, looking over material, is material. Because we gobble it up pretty quickly on the show every week, and to do that much volume of comedy material with no relief from any other area is a hard job. That's the hardest thing on the show. As far as getting things on the air, that isn't a problem, because if they're tasty and if they say something, or if they're funny, that's the first rule, then it gets on. NBC has been very nice to us.
We have a brilliant set of writers. They're just great.
Yeah.
Well, having been on the show with you fellas, I have a feeling that one of the ways you accomplish it is just kind of overwhelming them with so much material that they don't really know where they're at, and they get numb, so they don't know which material is double entendre and which isn't. Do the censors pick on both of you the same, or do they? You find that one?
Oh, they don't really. If you want a serious answer to the question, they don't really pick on either one of us. They sometimes get a little uptight about their construction of a joke. We, however, from the goody-goody point of view, never mean anything but the best.
No, no.
And they, however, sometimes have a rather devious way of looking at things.
That's right.
They see things that are not really there.
That's right. They point out things to us. We said, well,
Can't understand how they...
But if that's the way their mind works, Hef, you know, you got to go along with it.
That's right.
Well, Dan, I know that you're always trying to get Dick's mind off of girls, and I wonder when you're going to give up on that as a lost cause.
Well, Hef, since his skin is cleared up, I think
I don't know. My idol has always been Hugh Hefner, and I'm going to follow. If he'll blow in my ear, I'll follow him anywhere.
Dick, would you ever go on a double date with Dan?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of talk about us, but
I keep telling you, not on the air.
I keep forgetting. No, actually, Dan is a married person, and he likes to sit home, and look at things with his wife,
What?
you know.
Would you?
But I've been trying to get an invitation. No, I like to go out with nice ladies, and
No, you don't.
well,
You've never been out with a nice lady since I've known you.
Zelda, you don't
Oh,
remember Zelda?
yes, sir.
Got rid of her quick. No, but actually we don't double date because it's hard for a married couple and a single couple to go out together because, you know,
Unless the married couple's a little weird, you know.
and I've been looking for a weird married couple.
Well, Dan, what is your what's
Funny the way he got off that, isn't it?
He wasn't born every minute.
He doesn't read that free press for nothing. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not really changing the subject. I just wondered what is your idea of a really good time?
Have a really good time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a glass of milk and a trip to Tijuana, I think.
No, my idea of a good time is just to stop and look around and listen to everything that's going on. And most people, I think, miss most of happiness because they're too busy searching for it, and they don't realize that they're going through those periods of happiness at the time. That's the reason many people sit around and they reminisce about, wasn't that great then? Wasn't it wonderful when we did so-and-so? But they didn't realize it at the time. And life is a very full, rich experience, and most of us treat it, I think, as a banquet and only eat the salad. You know, there's a lot to it. And it's a pretty difficult thing to be specific about.
I know you spent a lot of time on your boat.
Yeah, that's a good. Well, that is not always a good time. Sometimes it isn't as much fun as others, but it's always better than anything else.
Well,
I take exception to that.
okay, Dick. We know that Dan spends most of his free time on the boat. Where are you?
Well, I say that if you could find a nice lady who has a friend. No. I think that I like.
We know what you like.
I know. I'm trying to get around that. No, I dig being with the comics and you know the guys like Buddy Hackett and a bunch of guys like Milton Berle. I don't really dig that. Come on. No, what you do is you do whatever you want until 10:30, 11, then go find a nice lady.
I'll drink to that.
There you go. That's my idol, Hugh Hefner. Oh, those crazy little fuzzy butts.
Hey, don't you have have some entertainment going here?
No, just this.